let's talk about Prime Day this year, then a bit about reviews and Amazon update. And that's a good question, probably that Prime Day. I mean, this is thinking about running different deals, different kind of campaigns uh, uh, on Amazon, then it's time to give it some thought. The time that you need to submit your deals is coming soon. So if you miss the deadline, then you miss the deadline, and nothing you can do. And another thing is that, like, if you're submitting deals, you need to take into consideration the discounted price, and like if you want to give less of a discount, then then you basically need to adjust the sales price. But for that, it's a bit tad late for that already. So which means that, like we talked previously, like it takes the history of the price in consideration when setting the discount price. So that's something to always keep in mind. But yeah. So Prime Day, how to remove negative reviews. So someone was asking us like how to remove negative reviews. So let's discuss about that. We do have like a whole SOB regarding it, so we will be sharing that as well. And then different kinds of updates coming this year. I mean, we talked about these updates already a few weeks ago, but there's also one main factor is the different fees that are changing. So I mean, we need to keep those in mind when we are doing different packaging and shipping and so on. So when it actually impacts our profitability. So let's keep that in mind. So Prime Day. So what is Prime Day? Well, I mean, the origin for Prime Day is that, in retail, online say, well, actually in general in retail, I mean, summertime is usually the kind of the slowest time of the year. And not just because, people take, summer vacation or whatever. I mean, especially in countries like Finland, where there's a super long summer vacation, which is not the case in US, but still, even in US, like people take time off and they are not so active during the summer in terms of consuming. So that's why Amazon came up with its own kind of campaign to really ignite the sales during summertime. And so far, I mean, it was July because they started in July because July was the kind of the slowest month. So historically, I mean, actually it has drastically changed from year by year. And during the COVID time, I mean, that was actually the first time that I remember that, I mean, Prime Day wasn't really that good anymore. And it was probably because, I mean, Amazon just kept postponing it, and, nobody really knew when it's going to be. So that kind of hurt the different campaigns. And then also, I think, they delayed it so much that it went pretty close to Black Friday and, Cyber Monday. So the timing wasn't really good at all. But yeah, first one was in 2015, so lasting 24 hours. But what Amazon has also started doing is having these kind of like pre-campaigns for the day and then post campaigns as well. So I mean, this is a day that Amazon is going to be heavily promoting. So that's why we also want to take part on that and be able to get some of the piece of the pie, right? So it's highly anticipated by shoppers, usually because, I mean, there's a lot of different kind of campaigns, different kind of discounts during that period. So it's very similar to Black Friday. And so it's an opportunity for us to boost sales. And, I mean, they never, usually, I mean, don't give the exact dates until closer time period, but I mean usually it's gonna be in July, sometime in July. And this year it's expected to be mid-July, and it's about a month beforehand that they kind of announce it that yeah, it's gonna be a month from now and so on. So last year, I guess it was the biggest Prime Day in Amazon's history, and we can all see that. I mean, it's always been July, June, but like 2020 was the exception because Amazon kept just delaying it, and that was kind of like, I remember that. I think that year was also a bit of a failure in terms of, because it just such a kind of hassle, and it was like, oh, was there Prime Day? Yeah, there was Prime Day, but nothing special happened. So it was heavily delayed and kind of lost the momentum. But yeah, otherwise July. Okay, so what can we do? We can do lightning deals, which means steep discounts for a limited time, and there has been more regulation limitations on this to really kind of offer the customers more authentic deal, because like we discussed a few weeks ago, it's kind of scammy or unethical to say that there's a discount, but if there really is no discount, then I mean that kind of upsets customer, and I mean it doesn't feel good. Like, why would you do that? So it's actually, I think it's just only a good thing that Amazon has been adding these more rules in terms of what the discount has to be, so that the deals that people actually get are actual deals, not just kind of like these fabricated nonsense, meaning that, oh, it's discounted from a price that nobody has ever paid, right? So, and another thing is that this deal space, I mean, it's going to be featured for 12 hours on these Amazon deals, meaning these different kind of lightning deals. And, it drives conversion and brand promotion, especially during high traffic events. So it's really good time to do a campaign if you're planning to do, and it's pretty easy to do it directly inside of you do it directly inside of Seller Central, but there are other type of deals as well, meaning best deals, deal of the day, but for those you have to go through internal person within Amazon. For example, category manager is able to add deals for you for at least best deals, and sometimes for deal of the day as well. Then Prime exclusive best deals offer discounts to Prime members, and these are submitted at the same place and same for these different kind of discounts. Then coupons, so same thing. I mean, all of these are pretty straightforward, so I don't know if we need to spend too much time on it. So the point is that there are these different kinds of options. So the question that you need to ask yourself is that how much sales do you want to make? What is the discount you're able to do? And first of all, are you able to meet the discount that you would have to give on this? So it's another question, like, do you just want to get, I mean, just getting the revenue doesn't really make sense. I mean, you should be making profit as well, right? But another question is like, do you have the inventory to take part in these deals? So, because I would say, like, if you're just in this testing phase, then it kind of doesn't really make sense that, if you haven't really decided to, if you haven't even really validated the product, I mean, meaning that you have already made several different batches, then, I mean, it doesn't make sense for that. But the more better scenario is when you have a product that has been already for some time, or then you are selling the product, and now you want to just get this boost for it. You want to get this boost of sales for it, and to get more visibility, get more better ranking, and so on. So that's something to take into consideration. And by the way, like, just because you're doing this kind of a campaign, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be that big of a success, because it's going to totally depend on what's the pace that it's going to be displayed on, or what kind of deal it is, and what's the discount and so on. Yeah, but these coupons are added under this advertising place as well. And the one thing to keep in mind is that when we are doing these different kind of deals, we need to ship our inventory well in advance. And we also need to take into consideration that, sometimes there's long queues, and it might actually take several weeks until our inventory becomes available, which is a real pain in the butt if you are waiting to just, launch some campaign or whatever, and then, you have sent the shipment has arrived, but it's just taking too long, taking like weeks at a time to really be processed. Another thing is, like, if you have already started like using these Amazon global shippings, always keep in mind that, yeah, it's great in the sense that the prices are really typically, much cheaper, but they are super slow. So it takes sometimes like so long time for the inventory to arrive and everything. So never ship all your bats, all your inventory in Amazon global shipping, because it's very likely that there are going to be delays. And let's say that you have planned your campaigns and whatever, and well, whoops, there's a delay on Amazon global shipping, and they add maybe even a month to your thing. So there's really nothing you can do at that point. So then you need to consider that, was this really worth it to save, saving the shipping cost? Another aspect is this upstream storage, which is great, meaning that if you're having issues with these limitations, meaning that Amazon doesn't allow you to just send inventory, enough of inventory, then it actually makes sense to use this pilot star program, which means that you're able to store the inventory inside of this upstream storage by Amazon, basically for no extra cost. And then they will automatically ship it to the fulfillment center on need basis. Okay, so let's see, what is the cutoff date? It's June 20th. So which means that, basically you need to ship before that. And, you can check on this, like we discussed before. There are different tools on evaluating these inventory levels inside of Seller Central. But yeah, you need to take into account your supply chain and any kind of delays that there might be. So yeah, this is a good example if we are thinking that the deadline is June 20th, so we need to kind of aim that the inventory is there already like 10 days before. And why is that? Isn't 10 days a bit excessive? No, it just means that you're taking into consideration all those delays that might be happening. And oftentimes the delays are not because of anything we are doing. It just might be some queue or whatever inside of Amazon, and that's just something to plan ahead instead of just ending up in this situation where it's just been waiting. Okay, preparation. Well, one thing is definitely like reviewing that, okay, what were our sales previous years? So good way to always to understand is that, okay, are we gonna get a bump in sales. And if you're going to get a bump in sales, what kind of bump is it going to be? But I don't think you would necessarily, like, if you're not doing any kind of promotion, any kind of deals, any kind of marketing, any kind of coupons for Prime Day, then I mean, it doesn't necessarily add anything to your sales. So I like, if that's the case, then I wouldn't even necessarily send more inventory, because it's more about this promotion that Amazon is gonna do, but they are not gonna. It's not necessarily gonna help you if you're not doing anything about it, right? But yeah, identify top selling products, trends, and pricing strategies, and then use this data to tailor inventory and marketing for Prime Day. And this is absolutely like essential to do, is that you know, I mean, optimize the product listings, make them ready, which means that they're like clear, descriptive titles and high quality images, product descriptions with relevant keywords, so that it's optimized for the right keywords and you're not missing out on any traffic. And then using this A+ content for enhanced listings. And even if it's a new product, then, I mean, what I recommend to do is that, I mean, get a trademark ASAP and just make it general, meaning that you don't name the brand as, you know, workout, fitness, health, or whatever. I mean, the name should be something that you can use you can actually use it for many different categories, because then it gives you the flexibility to change direction, hop into a different category if you, for any reason, just, you know, decide to change category. Then you don't need to register a new trademark, a new brand registry, and all that stuff. You can actually use whatever you already have. So that's what we typically do. So when we, you know, set up a new brand, then we're going to be applying the trademark for the products that we currently have. And, you know, you get these like 3 different subcategories with the application, but you can also add new ones later on for an extra fee. It's basically just sending the same similar application. I mean, I guess it's easiest to do with a lawyer, but, you know, it's not really such a big deal to add new subcategories, as long as, you know, there isn't the existing trademark that you're actually violating, which means that it will block you to get this trademark applicable to those categories. But the funny thing also is that, like, if you use this IP accelerator and, you know, boom, I mean, you get immediately access to brand registry. But let's say that your trademark is the application that you send. I mean, when the office actually goes through it, I mean, if it actually fails, then you will, if you did it through Amazon, then you will also lose access to this brand registry. So that's a certain caveat that they don't really tell you if you do it through it. But I guess easiest, safest way is also just to consult someone regarding it, so you're not like violating any IP. Okay, whenever we are doing like discounts or these deals, I mean, we need to know the numbers. So we need to know their product cost and also what the market is selling, competitors' pricing. And we also need to know the reason that why are we doing this campaign. So if it's merely about profitability, then okay, then we are going to have a totally different perspective or a view regarding this. But if it's more about that, hey, I mean, I want to get boost in sales, I want to, you know, increase my ranking, increase my visibility, and, you know, if I make a profit on that one, then great. But, you know, if not, then that's not a big deal, because my goal is just, you know, to get this extra boost, right? So that's totally different perspective. And strategy than deciding that I need to get the highest profit, right? So, okay, calculate the numbers, check what can you do, what's your goal, then determine these discount offers to really maintain this profitability, and adjust discounts based on sales performance during Prime Day. And one thing is that I can see that someone might ask that why would I sell a product if I'm not making any profit on that? Well, if you're thinking like this, I can tell you like one example. Like one seller was doing this, that he was basically since the time of launching the product, he was basically losing, well, not necessarily losing, but at least not making any money with the product for the first 1.5 years. Why would he do that? Like, why would he just break even on a product for like 1.5 years? Well, it was a scenario in that he was just in this, he was an experienced seller and he was willing to, take the long route and take the heavy investment. And this was also highly competitive keywords, highly competitive market, which meant that in order to be able to compete with all these sellers, he needs to, take the bullet and you take the dive, which just resulted in the scenario that he wasn't making any money with that product for the first 18 months. But after those 18 months, he had already gathered like the foundation and everything, and he was increasing ranking, getting massive amount of reviews. I mean, coming from the sales, he wasn't even doing any kind of manipulation. So then after that point, he didn't have to invest so heavily into the product anymore. So he basically got to the position that he wanted to be, and then he really started to making money with it. But how many sellers are willing to take 1.5 years before they make a dime with the product? So that's also always a question we need to ask ourselves, like what kind of game are we playing and what's the outcome with this product? Like, okay, maybe someone could have decided that, I have already put like 1 year into this and I'm still not making any money. So maybe just quit this product. But like if he would have done that, it would have been just complete waste. But no, he's spent another 6 months on it, and now it's actually a big money maker, big cash cow for the seller. Then advertising, yeah, absolutely. Doing different kinds of absolutely like focus on promoting high performing products. And it's funny, like when you get this like Amazon people to account executives from advertising and so on, sending you tips how to optimize your ads for Prime Day. So when you go to a call with this, sometimes they do have like good suggestions, but oftentimes they are just basically telling you to just spend more money. And sure, sometimes it makes sense, but it doesn't always make sense. So whatever advice they give, kind of need to take it with a grain of salt. And promote beyond Amazon. So just driving traffic to Prime Day deals through websites, social media, and email. And actually, one thing to understand about these different kind of deals, lightning deals, and these deal pages, it also has a ranking system of its own, meaning that if your deal is listed on the page and it's hardly getting any sales, then Amazon is just gonna be like pushing down to lower than the listings that are actually getting sales. And one way we can also kind of impact this ranking is just, just drive traffic to our listing or to the deal page. Mainly to the listing, which means that, I mean, it doesn't really matter if they buy or not, but just because we are bringing this traffic, is just give this boost for the product. So that's another reason like why we always need to build our like customer database with the email and SMS list that, when we are doing these kind of campaigns, we want to make sure that, our audience is also aware of the deals, and we get this boost whenever we need it. And if you're thinking about like what kind of stuff to post, I mean, it totally depends on the product. But overall, I mean, it should be product highlights, product testimonials, different countdowns, meaning that, hey, I mean, the deal is going live in 2 days and 1 day and today. So you kind of like build the excitement for the audience regarding the deal. Inventory management, real-time tracking across multiple channels. Yeah, I mean, obviously we need to, optimize the inventory for these Prime days. And there's certain information that we can get regarding this Prime Day, but basically understanding these behavior and preferences, I mean, then it just allows us to, kind of, if we already have like products with, variations and product assortments, then, it just allows us to figure out that, okay, so what are the things, which are the products that we should be focusing on, and which are the variations customers prefer, and so on. Yeah, cart abandons. Yeah, I mean, with your own store, that's definitely important one. Maintain marketing efforts post Prime Day. I mean, Amazon does this a bit by its own, meaning that, once it's over, they also kind of like do this another tapping that, I mean, there's this and that deal happening post Prime Day and blah, 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 blah. But why not do it ourselves as well? And yeah, retargeting and so on. And one thing is that, once we have these deals, we have to monitor those. We have to check that they don't get suppressed. And sometimes, I mean, there are actually many reasons why the deal might get suppressed. Maybe because of inventory, maybe because of some emails, maybe because of some keyword or whatever. So if we notice that, it's suppressed, then, I mean, if we don't fix it, then it just means that we're going to lose on that deal. I mean, the deal is not going to happen. So that would suck, right? So that's why, like, whenever we have set up these deals, then we need to make sure that everything is still working for it. And then, I mean, address any of these warnings to prevent this deal suppression. And yeah, I mean, there's this certain time, I don't know, maybe it's 24 hours, but like if we haven't fixed those issues before that, then it's just gonna cancel the deal, and boom, we just missed on it. And yes, high quality product detail, and yeah, and this is one thing, like that there's been limitations past years that you cannot play around with these prices as much anymore. So meaning that you kind of just gradually increase the price or whatever, just to make it seem that it's a bigger deal than it actually is. So it's a good thing that Amazon is adding these limitations on these things. And yeah, and warnings prompt for sure. And typically, there is this the time period for these. It's going to be probably pretty soon. So I mean, in May. So they Amazon announces that okay, now you can see that the window to submit these deals is open. So, and if you miss it, then you actually miss the whole thing. You cannot get any deals. And actually, another thing is that sometimes if your listing has some kind of issues or it's something is suppressed, then it actually might happen that you are not getting this deal window at all. So that's something that you need to fix early on inside of Seller Central, because if you want to get the deal and you are not getting these deal suggestions, then I mean, there's nothing that you can really do. I mean, then you just have to contact Amazon and ask, hey, I mean, I'm not getting any deal suggestions. So what's the problem here? What is it that I can do to fix it and so on? And obviously, like fixing these type of things takes time. So, if the submission window started today, it's going to be limited time, maybe, I don't know, I mean, a few weeks or whatever. So if we don't get it open by that time, these suggestions, then, well, better luck next year, right? So the eligibility refreshes weekly, so better act quick. And oh yeah, so we have the deadline here as well. So it's saying that May 3rd. So that's the time that we have had to submit all the deals. And I mean, canceling these deals, that's pretty easy. So I mean, it goes up to 48 hours before it actually starts. And why do you want to cancel a deal? I know maybe you don't have to, maybe you just for any reason pretty much, I guess, like if it's just too much your profitability or something, or you just changed your mind. So that's not a problem at all, which means that if you are just like considering in doing these deals, then I mean, why not actually submit this? Because I mean, you will be able to cancel the deals if you just change your mind. All right. Any questions about this Prime Day stuff? All right, so let's hop on to how to remove negative reviews. So yeah, so we have this whole SAP how to do that. So there's a link in this presentation. So when you need to do this, you can just refer to it. So we can so it's easy that you see all the links and whatnot. Okay, but yeah, basically the reason like when if you're asking Amazon just to remove a product review, then if you just say it like this, that I mean, just please remove this product review, then the likelihood that they're going to remove it is pretty slim, because you're not giving any reason why they should do that. So that's why for them to have a reason, the ideal case or the best case is really that if you're referring to the rules that they give, or basically saying, well, I mean, this product review is violating this and this terms of service, and that's why you should remove this product review. So that's totally different kind of thing, where whereas you would just ask them that I mean, Amazon, please just remove this review, right? So what you can do is actually you just take this review policy for ChatGPT for analysis, and then you download audio for like 1 to 3 star reviews only. Then you can use a different tool just to export this negative reviews to a CS file for like easy access. Then you basically just copy paste these negative reviews into ChatGPT And the point is that it's going to analyze if any violates this Amazon review policy. And when you're submitting a case to Amazon to review the review, then this is basically the information that you need to submit them. So you need to, you need to give the ASIN number or code, title of the review, name of the reviewer, date of the review as it appears on the website, and direct link to the review and this required action. So you send an email to Amazon using the Amazon product review tool, then provide this necessary information that they ask for. So if a review is found to violate this policy, then you can use this provided template to email then community helps. So here you can see that it's basically asking this detailed explanation of the violation. So you cannot really be vague that, it's just this is hate speech, or this is has profanity, or well, this is repetitive text spam or whatever. Okay, so if you're saying that, you need to prove it as well. And the thing is, like, if you just do it this way, then there is actually quite high likelihood that they're going to be removing it. So you include the details, product ID, reviews username, and then contents, and provide this detailed explanation of the policy violation, and then request assistance in reviewing the case and potentially removing the review. So here's the link for the SOP, so you can just go through it and use it when you need it. Any questions regarding these product reviews? Funny thing is that I still remember the first 1-star review that we got for our first product, and it wasn't really a legit thing that he was complaining. I can't remember exactly what he was complaining about, but it wasn't really about the product. And of course, like, it's our first product, it's it hurts our sales, so we did everything we could to handle their 1-star review. So we even called the person, and every time she was saying that yes, I will actually, the review is not accurate or whatever, and I will remove it. So she told us that she will remove it, but she never did. I think it's still on Amazon. So but what can you do? Okay, so we talked about these updates before. So fees, it's effective this month. So it applies to product consistently low inventory levels relative to unit sales. So like we discussed when we actually went through these fees, is that, Amazon wants to provide this good customer experience. It's not a good customer experience if the product is constantly out of stock. So that's why Amazon came up with this sneaky way of penalizing sellers if we run out of stock, or if we not running out of stock, but if you have too low inventory levels relative to unit sales. So fees incurred in April will be credited back after the month ends. So avoid the fee by maintaining this historical days of supply above 28 days. So April serves as an opportunity to adjust inventory management and avoid the fee in the future. And like we discussed before, like, it usually goes, the development usually goes in such a way that, there's going to be more fees. Fees and the costs are going to be increasing and everything. So it just means that, we just need to be better. We need to get better at what we are doing in order to, in order to have the competitive advances, pretty much. For more details, visit the low inventory level fee page. So No fee when the product is out of stock. So no fee if no sales in past 30 or 90 days. So this is actually something that people were wondering that, oh, okay, if I go out of stock, so does it mean that I'm going to be getting a penalty for that? So no, that's not the way it works. So this fee determined by creator of short-term and long-term historical days of supply. So these metrics are calculated on the parent product level to avoid charging for variations with uncertain demand, which is actually a good thing because let's say that you don't even want to sell all these different variations, and you have really low amount of inventory because, or maybe you're just thinking of not ordering, reordering. So that's great. So then it will actually not be impacted by this. So only FBA inventory is considered not seller fulfilled, and inbound delay unlikely to affect long-term historical days of supply. So, okay, how we can avoid this is by really managing the inventory levels and, auto replenishment as well.